Be live shortly. Book a tarot or astrology reading on our website, channelforgrace.guru, and check out our latest programs and classes. Please give us a share and a like, and we hope you enjoy the broadcast. Welcome to the Channel for Grace. Gobind will be live shortly. Book a tarot or astrology reading on our website, channelforgrace.guru, and check out our latest programs and classes. Please give us a share and a like, and we hope you enjoy the broadcast. Welcome to the Channel for Grace. Gobind will be live shortly. Book a tarot or astrology reading on our website, channelforgrace.guru, and check out our latest programs and classes. Please give us a share and a like, and we hope you enjoy the broadcast. Satnam, and welcome back to the channel. My name is Gobind, and this is your Channel for Grace. Thank you guys so much for being here live, and thank you to those of you that are watching the replay. We have a very big week this week coming up. A lot of really powerful events, specifically an eclipse, and we're going to talk about that a little bit today, but I will be doing a separate broadcast just focusing on the astrology and the human design of the eclipse. But for today, welcome to our weekly show where I go over the astrology for the week and also do a tarot and oracle reading to see what the intuitive energies are as well. And I'm very excited to be here today. Let me say hi to those of you that are here. Hello, Rebecca. Welcome in. Hello, Mary. Welcome. Dawn is here as well. Jeanette is also here. Linda, hello. Good to see you. Star Girl, welcome in. Megan is here too. So good to see all of you guys. And if you are here live, say hi in the chat so I can say hi back. So before we dive in, I wanted to say again, thank you to all of the subscribers and welcome to all of the new subscribers that we have here. Definitely quite a few. And I hope that you're enjoying the content. And if you are, just a reminder to make sure that you click on that notification bell so you get notified of when I go live and when I upload videos. Also, I invite you to download my free moon astrology guide, which will tell you what your psychic gifts are based off of your moon sign. It also enters you into my email list, and I send out a weekly moon magic report that goes out on Wednesdays. And it gives you basically the horoscope for the week in written format, and it's from Wednesday to Tuesday. So you're getting like a little extra with this show and with that weekly broadcast. So people love to get that in their inbox. People are asking me if like there's any way to like set up something where they can add it to their calendar. And I'm like, oh my God, that would be amazing. I have no idea how to do that. But if somebody knows how to do that, that might be a fun thing. So like every day on your calendar, you get the notification. That would be really fun, actually. Anyways, there's a lot going on in my life. Hello, Michael. Good to see you. And Anastasia, welcome in. I have been very, 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 very busy. I have been doing so many readings lately. Thank you to all of you that have gotten a reading from me and who are scheduled to have a reading from me. I have been so enjoying doing them, and I love seeing everyone's faces when they get to understand their charts better. And so if you are interested in getting a reading from me, I just want to share real quick. This is my website, and I actually updated to put the book a reading option right at the top. And I added one new type of reading, which is a 2-hour reading, because I've been having a lot of people wanting to go even deeper than the 1-hour reading. So I was like, okay, I can create something longer for those of you that really want to dive deep. So that option is now available. Also, the hour session has always been available. One thing that I did remove from the options is the 30-minute option. And I actually did that today because what I've been noticing is that the 30-minute readings is just not long enough for us to cover the things that people really want to cover. And right around 30 minutes during the session, especially the hour-long session, is when we really start to get even deeper into the different topics and start to uncover a lot of powerful things. So I just made an executive decision that, and I keep going over with the 30 minutes. Like I can't stop at 30 minutes because I feel like it hasn't quite, gotten to a point of completion and conclusion. And because that keeps happening, I just decided I'm just not a 30-minute type of reading. So anyways, that option has been removed in case you're wondering. But you could also order a human design map. And this is basically a PDF file map that I create for you. I send to you, and then I send you a link once you have gotten an opportunity to review the map and see what your human design is, your strategy, your authority. I go into the channels, I go into the hanging gates. There's a lot of information in there. There's also gene key information in there as well. It's a very thorough not examination, but a very thorough description of everything in your human design chart. And some people really love to have that. It's nice to have, it's like this report of who you are. And at the end, I actually create a unique, your unique, mantra. And that's an intuitive thing that I do. I come up with that unique mantra based off of your gene keys, and you can, frame it and put it somewhere where you're going to be able to see it and read it every day. And it's meant to really activate you. So I love that little piece of this. So that's also available. Also, Akashic record readings, which are different than all these other, very kind of heady things that I do, like astrology, human design, and gene keys. The Akashic record readings can include, chakra clearings, crystal gridding, looking into soul contracts, Akashic astrology, tuning into spirit guide messages, energy clearing, if mediumship comes through, and can also include shamanic journeys. So these are the more intuitive type of readings where I'm not actually looking at your astrology chart at all or your human design chart, but I just flow intuitively to what it is you need in the moment. And those are also really amazing and profound to do. And another option is a starseed ancestry reading, which I had two options and I just combined them into one. I used to do like one starseed reading, and it was supposedly a step 1, and then the extended was step 2, but I realized that was just confusing people. You notice I've had to make all these changes because I've been getting so many people booking that I want to clarify everything. So that's why I'm going over it today for everyone. But the starseed ancestry reading is so amazing because you can look at your chart and see where your planets are connected to fixed stars. For example, be able to see, am I an Orion starseed? Am I a Lyran starseed? If your Mercury is on Aldebaran, what does that mean? Like my Venus is on Aldebaran. And so you get to understand what your starseed ancestry is, where you have been, and quite possibly have had past lives on other planets and other star systems, and the gifts that come from these different star beings. And that's the most powerful thing, is that you get to understand yourself. You get to see the cosmic perspective of your soul. And it is so much fun to do those. And those aren't live. I record them for you by myself, and then I send you the recording once it's ready. because it honestly, it's just really, you just got to watch it and see what comes through. So usually those readings can be very affirming and confirming of your gifts and connections to star families that you have intuitively felt already. Then we have the Atlantean astrology reading, which I really should call it soul contract astrology, but I learned this method through Matthias, and I was very inspired to do it. And I called it Atlantean astrology because there is a really beautiful aspect of Matthias's teachings that include, which I also teach in the Moon Goddess training, that include looking at your chart and the relationships around you as these mirrors to teach you about yourself, which is the case that relationships are our greatest teachers. And so what we do in this, and because, you know, Matthias is all about ancient Atlantis, and that was part of what we learned in the initiatic path, I have called it Atlantean astrology. But essentially what we're doing is we're pulling up, we're placing your 12 major contracts, soul contracts that you are currently, that are really important for you to understand right now at this time in your life, and how they relate to you walking your unique astrological path, and understand how these relationships affect you in, you know, body, mind, and spirit. And it's a really beautiful, and it's very, very different. And I've been doing a few of these and people have been freaking loving them. So there's another option. Hello, Maricela. And of course, past life regression, which based off of, I did two different trainings. I did the QHHT with Dolores Cannon, and I also did Beyond Quantum Healing. And so these sessions, we go into past life regression. We ask your higher self questions. And it really is based on this idea that when you know, going back, you're going to see exactly what you need to see. And it's going to come out exactly in the way that it's going to come out. And it's perfect for you at that moment. And the ultimate potential is quantum healing, because you are working with, you know, time and space, and going back in time like we do with shamanic journeying. And as you heal in the past, it sort of simultaneously heals in the present. And that's kind of the concept behind, you know, these types of past life regressions. Sometimes we need to look back into the past, whether it's childhood past or even further back, past lives, to find the origination of any kind of issue that we're experiencing in life, whether emotional, mental, physical, whatever it is. And it can be very, very healing in that way. So that's what I wanted to share with you guys. And without further ado, let us hop right on over to the chart and look at what are some of the major things that are happening this week. So here we go. Today is, so we're covering March 10th through, so Monday through Sunday, from the 10th all the way through the 16th. And there's actually almost something every day, which is, I mean, it's not unusual, but it is, we haven't had that in a little bit. So we're definitely going to feel a lot happening. And there's a buildup this week, because this is the week we're building up towards a full moon. And this full moon is a total lunar eclipse that will be visible, at least to my awareness, in the United States, kind of the north, I think north, like the Americas. And so depending on where you are, you're going to see the eclipse at different times at night. And what you are experiencing is the earth in between the sun and the moon perfectly aligned, so that the light of the sun concaves around the earth and kind of hits the earth in this way that turns the moon red. So they call it a blood moon eclipse, which obviously sounds really dramatic. Hello, Bernadine. Welcome in. And it kind of is dramatic because it is actually a south node eclipse, and we'll talk about that in a minute. But that's what we're building up to. So this entire week, at a basic level, the moon is moving through its waxing phase. And particularly right now, it's since that moment of a new moon that we had like about a little over a week ago. The moon has gone through its crescent phase, its first quarter square, and now it's gibbous this week. So the signs that it's going to move through are going to bring in, and just in general, the moon is going to bring in a lot of emotion. So heightened emotions when the moon is gibbous, heightened emotions when the moon is full, and majorly heightened emotions when it's a freaking total lunar eclipse, which, if you didn't know, the lunar eclipse is a full moon. The solar eclipse is a new moon. So that's what's happening. That's what we're building up towards this week. So the first major event, if we go to tomorrow, March 11th, we're going to see Venus make a conjunction, or Mercury make a conjunction to Venus at exactly 8 degrees. I like that number. That number numerologically is like infinity. In tantric numerology, number 8 is the pranic body. So it has to do with the breath and taking in breath. And in the ancient Hermetic Atlantean wisdom, the breath was how we connected to the divine, how we connected to God. So I like that. Also, you know, Mercury represents the mind and Mercury represents communication. He's in Aries right now, and he is going to be going retrograde as well. And currently Venus is retrograde. She has been retrograde since Saturday. Since Saturday, not this past Saturday, but the Saturday before that. And remember that right before that, we had a whole week where all the planets were direct. And an overarching theme in the last week or so that I have noticed is things again feeling a little bit more sluggish. And that one week was like this crazy, like all systems go. And a lot like showed up. Like that was the week that the podcast with Robert came out, and it's like something exploded. Like I had a reading with someone, I think like the week before, where we literally talked about, and this was someone who had been on the Egypt trip with me, and we had talked about how she's intuitively feeling as well that there's going to be like an atomic explosion going on in my life. And that's exactly what that week brought into my life. But now the energy feels a little more sluggish. And it is this Venus retrograde that we are like, you know, well on our way to feel and to experience. And it's about healing, you know, relationship wounds and karmic wounds that we've experienced in relationships. So it's a time of reflection. And you know, we've been in the Moon Goddess training doing our 40-day meditation. Synchronistically, the meditation landed exactly along with Venus retrograde, because the Venus retrograde is 40 days and 40 nights, and our meditation is 40 days. So we're doing it exactly with Venus. And when Venus is retrograde, we're in the underworld with Venus, reflecting, contemplating, and looking at life and seeing the things that we need to readjust, the things that we need to change, so that we can, instead of calling in the person that we want, so that we can become the person that will attract the kind of, you know, person that will bring us the type of relationship that we are like truly wanting. It's more than wanting, you know, manifesting is more than wanting. You can want something, and honestly, when you're sitting there wanting, all the universe hears is I don't have. So the way that you transform that I want to I get is I am. And so I am the person that calls in the right relationship, that calls in the right union. And that's a huge shift in perspective that I feel we are all very much tapping into and tuning into right now as a collective. Is the mirror is in our face, and this Venus retrograde is like a mirror. So at this point, when Mercury makes a conjunction to Venus retrograde in Aries at 8 degrees, it's infinite potential. And because of the number 8, that's where I'm getting that, but it's infinite potential to express your truth. Mercury is about communication, to tell your story, to process through the mind. It's the merging. Conjunctions are mergers. So it's merging the mind with our true desire, our ability to speak and communicate our truth with our true desire. So those things coming together could possibly bring up some beautiful conversations, some deep conversations about topics that can be maybe hard to share and talk about, but that are definitely necessary and that are going to help us along the path. It's like these little helpers come along the way, and this is one of them, you know. Mercury. Mercury is also the messenger of the gods. So you give Mercury the message and it'll take it to the gods. And Mercury brings us messages from the gods. It's like the condor in a way. The condor is the only bird that can actually fly to God. And so, yeah, messenger of the gods. So then we get to the next day, which is the 12th, which where we're going to see the sun make a conjunction to Saturn. This is a huge, huge deal. And let's see if I can actually, I know this is like, I don't usually do this, but I am going to. Hang on, let me find something. Let's see the Just Start chart. Just want to click on this. Yep, that's what I thought. So this is so cool because 22nd Shinki is a very significant one. A very powerful jinki, and it's the one that the sun is currently in right now. And this conjunction, this is one of those degrees that like it matches with the jinki. I don't know. I feel like it's just, I mean, it's a synchronicity. It's not like designed to happen this way, but it just so happens that 22 degrees of Pisces is exactly the 22nd jinki. And it's so beautiful. It's such a powerful one. And this is where this conjunction is happening. So the lesson is, well, if you think of if you think in terms of Saturn, Saturn is the lord of time and karma. With Saturn, we're learning huge lessons about how to find structure within the boundlessness that is Pisces. And the way that we do that is we learn to embody the laws of the universe, which state that, you know, the all is mind and what's within. So without there's cycles and rhythms in life. Everything is a vibrational frequency. And so depending on what vibrational frequency we are emitting with our energy, with our thoughts, that's going to determine the vibrational frequency that we align with in the exterior. Because if as within, so without, everything that we experience in the outer world is everything that is within us. So everything is the mirror right now. And then we have 2-2, which is also a mirror. So isn't that crazy? Like all of these powerful synchronicities happening right now. The sun represents the soul, and the soul is, you know, the deeper part of who we are. 22 is also like a sacred number, a master number. And, you know, we're learning how the universe works. Hello, Lish. And we're learning how to, according to, this is the fun part of putting it all together, how to transmute the shadow of dishonor to the gift of graciousness to the city of grace. Like how beautiful is that? And the bigger theme of this, which I freaking love, is grace under pressure. And there's no other card to me that defines this energy more than the Strength card in the tarot. Let's see if we can find that. A picture of it, picture of the Strength card real quick. There's no other, to me anyways, there's no other card that defines this energy more than this card. Grace under pressure. And you see the 8 that links us to that 8-degree conjunction between Venus and Mercury. Yeah, it's also the 8th card. I mean, right? This stuff is amazing. And she's like taming the beast, and the beast is you, you know? I love how all these things just take us into different places and help us explore. But going back to, these jinkies and this energy, we have the ring of divinity. And I've been really diving into this knowing this wisdom of the codon rings in the gene keys. Hi, Mama. Mintaka just came into my office and she's being a bad girl. Anyways, this is the ring of divinity. And when any of your gene keys, this is something I've been recommending to people. Any of the gene keys that you have are part of groups. They form groups. So the 22nd being a part of the ring of divinity tells us what the story is and what we're connecting to. So deeply connected to the true meaning of the Christ consciousness, the ring of divinity and its 4 genetic archetypes have the capacity to awaken the highest consciousness inside you and will bring the eventual manifestation of the full divine being into the world. The ring of divinity reveals a great truth, the 63rd, that all humans are made equal in this suffering. The 37th, which is the gift of equality. Doubt makes us human, the 36th gift of humanity, and leads us to a certain graciousness, the 22nd gift, in respect to how we treat others. Because of this connection to the 22nd gene key, this codon ring has much to do with the transformation of human awareness through suffering. It will bring intense emotional experiences and challenges to our lives, but ultimately this codon group is about redemption. Isn't that amazing? Hello, Salty Mama Soul Tribe. Isn't this amazing, you guys? Like the wisdom that you can get when you just start digging a little bit deeper. So this is where Saturn is right now. And Saturn is the great teacher. So he's teaching us about real redemption, healing karmic wounds through this very deep, flowy, powerful space that is Pisces. And then we're getting very close to the eclipse at this point, which we can actually go to it. It's happening like at 23 degrees. So 23rd into the 24th. And if I go to that exact point so we can see the timing in more detail. 23:50. 23:56. Okay. So the full moon happens technically March 13th in the Pacific zone at 11:55 p.m. And so that's going to be the 14th for like East Coast and for the other time zones. So it's 13th into the 14th, but it happens at night. And that's why it's visible for us, because it is happening at night. So the earth gets right exactly in between the sun and the moon turns red. It's called the blood eclipse or the blood moon eclipse. And the deeper lesson here, because this is a south node eclipse, or I guess the arching theme underneath this is karmic healing. So how beautiful though that Saturn remains right there in that 22nd gene key and that 22nd degree during the eclipse. I think that is really beautiful. I think that it's guiding us through the suffering of our lives, because we're no one is exempt from suffering. Suffering takes all kinds of forms, all kinds of levels of it, and it is grace under pressure during that suffering, right? The grace under pressure that ultimately leads us to that redemption, to healing. So this eclipse is calling the karmic wounds up, showing them to us. It's like we're going to be bleeding. This sounds really crazy that I just said that. I can't believe I just said that out loud. But I am actually going to be on my moon, because right now, for some reason, my body's like, we're on a full moon phase now, which is really intense. Last time I had my period, I was in freaking Egypt inside the Great Pyramid. So I know that this is a cycle for me where I'm receiving a lot of information about that experience for myself, because this is the next full moon, and the next full moon is a total lunar eclipse. So when I say we're going to be bleeding, I mean we're going to be like the heart space, you know, vulnerability comes up during this type of energy. And Virgo, South Node Virgo is like, stop trying to control everything. Stop feeling like you need to be in control of everything. Stop feeling like you need to know every single freaking detail, because when you get lost in the details, you lose sight of what's, you know, of the magic, which is found on the other side of the spectrum with the North Node in Pisces, you know, making a stellium with the freaking sun and Neptune and Saturn. So, and and all of these things are actually, where did I go? Oh, there's one. All of these things are, a lot of them are in the solar plexus. And that's the center of emotion in human design. So emotion is the way, you know, emotion is the way right now. Yep. And currently right now, as I'm doing this broadcast, we have one channel defined, and it is the channel of transitoriness with the North Node in Jupiter. So we got the North Node in the solar plexus. Who else do we have in the solar plexus? We've got the sun in the solar plexus, the South Node also in the solar plexus, Saturn in the solar plexus. Wow, right? And Neptune has moved into the 25 now. The gate of the spirit of the self. Satnam. Neptune is the ruler of Pisces. Neptune is the one that guides us whenever we're experiencing Pisces stuff, and he is in the gate of the spirit of the self during this week in the eclipse. Wowzer. Isn't this crazy? I love using all the three things, and I'm going to allow myself to flow more like this in the readings that I do. In fact, when I actually do the eclipse reading, which I will do specifically just for the eclipse, I'm going to combine, because I do these things separately. I do like the astrology and then the human design, but I'm going to just start combining it into one broadcast and just do like this, like flow between all the different systems. Because we're doing that anyways. So, okay, let's continue moving forward. So that's the eclipse. Okay, so then the very next day, Mercury goes retrograde in Aries. So we enter Mercury retrograde right after the eclipse, which is so interesting because he's actually the ruler of the south side of the nodes right now, the south side. The south node in Virgo is ruled by Mercury. It's also ruled by Chiron, but he's also in Aries. So we're healing deep Aries wounds, you guys. That's the bigger theme. Who am I? Why am I here? What am I supposed to do? You know, right? It's amazing. Yeah, Alicia's, I love the convergence. So I mean, I'm sorry, I keep playing with my thing. I have to fidget. My hands fidget like constantly. So whatever's on my desk, I'm going to play with. I'm going to grab my capo now. Anyways, so yeah, Mercury retrograde this weekend. So then another retrograde hits, you know. So we are now experiencing, we're moving more in towards like retrograde city, where things don't feel as outwards and they start to feel more inwards. So whenever there's more retrogrades, the experience is that we are reflecting, and it's an internal experience or an internal phase, an internal transformation. And that can be very, very powerful. So we finish on the 16th is the last day of the week, and on that day Venus enters her transition phase. So she's getting basically she's just moving closer and closer to the inferior conjunction with the sun, which doesn't happen until the sun enters Aries, but it happens in the very early degrees of Aries. So we're going to have the spring equinox, and then we're going to have the star point, the Venus star point in Aries. So she's moving closer and closer to that place. So she's transitioning. And so we're transitioning with her. Remember that as Venus moves forward, we transition with her. And what she's experiencing, we're experiencing in our own lives. So it is important to know, where is this in your chart? And this is something that I do bring into the Starseed membership, where I go into these specific, planet ingresses and retrogrades and speak to why it's so important for you to know where this is happening in your chart, and based off of that, how it's on a more personal level affecting you. So yeah, this is a big week, and then this whole week we're getting closer and closer to the freaking spring equinox. And the week after that is the sun enters Aries, and we've started a new astrological year. So this is technically, in terms of astrology, the last full moon of the year. And it is a full moon total lunar eclipse in Virgo with a south node. So it's kind of like we're ending with a bang, and then we're going to begin the astrological year Aries season with a bang as well, with a partial solar eclipse in Aries when the new moon in Aries comes around, because we're still in eclipses. We're getting that lingering energy of the nodes in Aries and Libra. And then by the next time eclipses come around, which is going to be Virgo season, we're going to be full on Virgo Pisces nodal axis eclipses. And remember that eclipses affect you for 6 months into the future. So we're going to definitely unfold the lessons that show up for us this week in the next 6 months until the next set of eclipses comes. So super amazing and super intense. And, there's a lot going on. So at the same time, it's really about how can you continue to find flow and continue to just move forward no matter what shows up in your life. It truly can be a magical experience. Life can be a magical experience, and it really all depends on the perspective that you are bringing into your experience, and the perspective and the way that you are seeing your life and understanding your life. That will make a huge difference whether you're going to actually enjoy it or not. That part we can control. We do control. We just don't believe we do. I think that's one of the biggest lessons that's happening, that I've seen happening right now on the planet, on the earth. We're learning that we can control how we react to things, how we perceive things. So I am going to now open up the records, and we're going to do a tarot and oracle reading to see what the energies are for us for the week. So feel free as I open up the records to tune into your sacred space and maybe call in your spirit guides, angels, and teachers. And maybe you decide that you want to pull some cards along with us at home. From the deep depths of the cosmic mind, I hear a whisper. This whisper calls us inwards towards our essence. A light begins to glimmer at the center of our heart. This is the light of unity, the all-knowing wisdom of the One. Through this door, we open the gates of the Akashic, the magical flower of life. We see our duality. We recognize our sacred trinity. We begin to witness infinite possibilities as we become the observer and the observed. A powerful and luminescent light engulfs our being, and we feel many dimensions all at once. We enter the Akashic records, protected and loved by all beings, all star beings that have accessed these portals before. The records are now open. May wisdom flow, may understanding descend, and may we be blessed with the light of love. All right. So let's shuffle these cards and see what the message is that our spirit guides, angels, and teachers want to bring us. And I usually pull 5 cards. So what's the main issue? Or this can also be the intuition card, or maybe what's one important thing that we need to know for this week. 8 of Wands. Things are moving seriously fast this week. That's what that says. Like, don't blink because you will miss the magic. A card just fell. Ooh, I like it. I like it. Wheel of Fortune, a twist of fate. This is definitely the eclipse talking to us. Like, things are moving fast. It's a twist of fate. Wow, this is actually exciting because the Wheel of Fortune brings in fortune, right? Like in the tarot, it's like this is an exciting change, but it is a timeline shift. So we're fastly approaching a timeline shift this week. Kind of crazy. Sticks and stones. Hello. Okay, what else do we need to know? What is the next important thing for us? Okay, celebration. Celebrate good times. Come on. Check it out. On the other side of the timeline shift, boom, the 3 graces. Oh, dawn. Okay, happiness, joy, celebration, coming together, you know, community, friendship, like enjoying life. Dude, I'm all for this. Last week's reading was not so great. This week's reading is amazing. Oh my God. Okay. So quickly approaching an epic moment of celebration. Oh, okay. This is good. This is good. 6 of Wands. Wow. Victory. This is the Welcome Home Victory Parade, which basically talks of the story of, you know, the hero's journey. You go off and you go and you do your work and you learn new things. I know. And you come home finally and it's like you're honored for what you've accomplished. You're honored and you're respected and you're recognized, and it's the victory parade, you know, like you did it, you know. So what I'm getting, this is so crazy. What I'm getting is that this week we're fastly approaching a timeline shift that has the potential to bring in a lot of joy and happiness and helping us remember and recognize the victory. It's like, this is a victory parade. This week is the victory parade. Like, we've made it to the other side. Hell yeah. This is the coolest reading I think I've pulled. I don't know. I think this is pretty amazing. I hope you guys are enjoying this. So the last card that we're going to pull is, okay, now that we know this is our message, what is the animal that... Did I seriously just put the elephant at the bottom of the deck? Oh my God. No, get out of here. He's been coming up a lot. But anyways, what is the animal that is guiding us through this change? And they came out fast, and so here they are. The snake and the stingray. You can see inside the snake as well. There's the flower of life. This snake is like the Ouroboros, the snake that eats itself. And then here you have the chakras along the spine of the stingray. And this is a powerful message for that. So the snake is, you know, usually about transformation, transmutation, shedding our skin. It's very eclipse like. The flower of life to me speaks of the sacred geometry, the Akashic records, tuning into information that is available to us, accessible to us if we are truly listening. And the stingray is, this one is the earth and water. So earth and water element coming up for us. Let's tap into this a little bit more deeply. This is also the year of the snake. So it's the wood snake. Here we go. The snake is the guardian of unawakened magic and creative potential. Oh, okay. So maybe this speaks to the potential of the stingray available to us. The snake is a symbol of our highest potential. It is said that Shakti, our creative life force, lies dormant at the base of our spine in the form of a coiled snake. Regardless of whether this image rings true for you, it is well worth considering the amount of unawakened or untapped potential within. What would life look like if you woke it up? How can you stir it from slumber? The eclipse is going to do that. As an experienced yoga or meditation teacher can lead the way. Make haste. The snake appears when there is no more time to waste. Epic. All right. And then the stingray, which I really do love the message of the stingray. It's just the energy of stingray is just, it feels like soft to me, and it may not, necessarily be that way. The stingray can also be dangerous, but all right, can sting you. But either way, I feel like a good energy about stingray. But the stingray is about developing confidence, a sense of self, or a spine. So this is the moment where we are building a spine. This is the opportunity to develop confidence, sense of self, or a spine. The stingray card represents a pivotal point in personal growth. I was talking about this earlier. The moment has come when the stingray must decide between the old, that this is South Node, easy, comfortable, and familiar, and the new, the North Node, challenging, uncomfortable, and unfamiliar. Oh my God. Pressure from family and friends makes the decision even more complicated. No matter what choice is made now, it is inevitable that this dilemma will surface again and again as the force of Dharma, growing within the stingray is too strong to ignore. Damn. You guys, this is insane. This reading is insane. So we're fastly approaching a timeline shift, an opportunity, a new experience that can bring about joy and bliss and excitement and celebration and recognition and victory. And that phase is us developing confidence, a sense of self, and a spine, and moving from the old, easy, comfortable, and familiar South Node to the new, challenging, uncomfortable, and unfamiliar North Node. And that process is the process that helps us grow a spine. And it's not just any spine, because if you see here, it's the chakras. And the kundalini, the serpent, the snake, represents the kundalini that rises up the chakras and activates us. And this is the spiritual activation. So everything is showing up in this way this week. This is actually really beautiful. I am so excited to see how it unfolds. So I love that, doing my victory dance for the week right now. I love it. So I'm going to close the records, and I thank you guys for being here and being a part of this beautiful community, and watching these videos. Share them out if you feel so called. This was amazing. So from the deepest depths of our soul, we give gratitude and love, for we understand we are a fractal of that cosmic whole. As we give, so we get, open to all possibilities through all time and space. We walk through the Akashic portal back to our inner space, remembering that this wisdom lives within every cell of our being. Thank you, star beings, for holding this sacred space and for protecting us during this journey through time and space. The records are now closed. Thank you guys all so much for being a part of this community, this channel. I hope that you enjoyed that reading, and I will be back to look at the astrology, human design, and gene keys of this solar eclipse that is happening on Thursday into Friday night. Have an amazing week, and I will see you again next time. Sat Nam.